there. So welcome to Module 2, Part 2 of UI UX. So we are still in the Module 2, Part 2, and here we have our property panel in Figma. So remember, we've talked about this part, we've talked about this part, and now we are here. We call this part what? We call this part the layer panel. We call this part the tools bar, and then we are calling this part the property panel, which is what it is. So let's go back here. We have the property panel in Figma is a section on the right side of your screen where you can adjust how things look and behave. The color, that's the fill and stroking effect. You have the size and position, that's your width, height, rotation. I'm still going to show you this in practical settings. We have your typography part, we have the font size, spacing and alignment. You have layout and constraints, how to resize and align in frames. We have prototype settings, that's the interactions, animation, navigation, and then we have layout, grid, and export. Okay, so let's go back to our Figma. This is basically it. So for you to see every other thing, now if you deselect everything, there is something here. If you deselect everything, it shows like this, just shows you your what's it called, the color of your Figma canvas, which is this one E1 E1 E. You can even close it if you choose to see. I hide my own if I don't want. I open it. This is it. You can see your variables, your style, your export. If you want to export, you see your prototype. That's if you want to prototype when we get to the prototyping part. Then how to your zoom value of your canvas. So the zoom value is on 100%. So it's preferably for the first time, if you're coming into a Figma file, not pages, file, and you want to like bring out something, please make sure your zoom value is on 100. If you are bringing out for the first time, not consecutively, not every time you want to bring out something, put it on 100. No, for the first time, you can just do 100 and that's it. It's fine. Anything, any zoom value, you can now start bringing out any other things. Okay. So we have our zoom value as 100% here. And then remember we select this to shift this. And this is selected. So this is a rectangle, right? I'm not in shapes. When I get to shapes, I would explain this rectangle part very well for all of us. So in this part, in this tool panel, we can see the alignment part. This is called the alignment, your positioning, your rotations, your dimensions, that's your width and height. We have your opacity, we have your corner radius, we have your fill, we have stroke, effect, and export. So we'll take time to explaining them better. Okay. So we have shortcuts in Figma, right? We have shortcuts in Figma. So shortcuts in Figma can be gotten where? Can be gotten here. So just come here, see keyboard shortcut, and you select all the shortcuts that you want. Your essentials, your tool. Where did I go to, please? I went here. Come over here. Make sure you've deselected everything. See, nothing is in light blue. Nothing is in light blue here. Then you come here and shortcuts. And then you do to view, zoom, text, shape, selection, cursor, edit, transform, arrange, component, all of them here, and that's it. So you come here, object editing in Figma. So we have what we call object editing in Figma. How to edit objects in Figma. That'll let you adjust, object editing in Figma lets you adjust and refine shapes, text, and elements. You can resize, rotate, align, group, or even customize their properties to get your design looking exactly the way that you want it to look. Okay, so you come here, let's say we want to edit. Let me deselect, let me delete everything, just select it. How do we select? You can come at this your empty space. I'm using a mouse, right click, left click and drag, or you come here and you hold on to your shift and keep clicking in the, no need of you clicking individually here, just come here and select. Everything is selected. You can still click here, or you come over here to click and to click hold your shift please when you are clicking, and then you press on your delete, everything is deleted. So to undo, Control Z goes back, delete. So Control Y is reduce. Then let's say we are bringing out our shapes. We are doing shapes edit, object editing, right? This is it here. So we can decide to edit this here sideways, right? Either you edit in your horizontal or vertical. So where is your horizontal? Your horizontal is from your left to right. Left to right equal is horizontal. Okay, let me zoom in. Is horizontal. Then right to left is vertical. Sorry, top to bottom rather. Top to bottom is your vertical. Can you see? Is a vertical. So this is your top to bottom here. So some people still call vertical. So it depends on what you want to call your vertical. People call vertical. Some people call it vertical. Some people call it the y-axis. Right? Some people call it the column axis. Column. Some people just call it column. Right? So depending on the name you want to call it, either your y-axis, your vertical, or column. So some people call this part horizontal. Right? Some people call this the x-axis. Okay, and then some people call this rows. Right? So for your horizontal, you could call it your horizontal, your x-axis, or your rows. That's what you tend to call it. So top to bottom, right to left, just not the one that you can use, right? So you can edit either ways. You can hold here to deep click is hold your control and then click, deep clicking. So this is it basically. Or you can and edit whichever way you want to. But then there's a funny thing now is, if you remember we just pasted, right? But if you want to have a proportionate what's it called, rectangle, just hold on to your shift and you drag. Can you see? 1 2 over 1 2. This is still give you proportionate 100 over 100, right? But then imagine you clicking on this and then you're not, I'm just dragging, holding my left click to drag, hold your left click your mouse to drag, and this is not proportionate. This is 138 times 188, which is not proportionate, right? So let's click on them to delete. At least we know how to do this one now. Control X, Control X, Control X. So there's another thing again in editing is that we can actually do corner edges. So you can do your corner edges from here. But this is just 100 and it stops in the 100 part, right? Okay, this turns it to circle 56. Wow. But then you can do from here. You can still come here and do it. Please, you can still come here and do it. Whichever way that you want to do it in Flex your own design. So you can see 2020 here basically. This is object editing here. The same thing with your line. Your line you drag. Can you see minus 3.14 blah 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 blah. Control X to delete. You can still click on this, hold on to your shift, and you draw. It gives you the perfect straight line. Make sure this is straight. So in Figma we use what's it called? We use 3 different measurements. Measurements in Figma. I'll still get to correct that, okay? How do we correct it? Just right click and then this is it. So we have our rotation, we have the pixel, and we have percentage. Can you see measurement in Figma? We have the rotation, the pixel, and we have the percentage. That's what basically that we have here. Okay, so editing is basically just on the way, just come close to it, hold it, and you drag. When you see this plus, you drag. But when you are dragging, please hold on to your shift and you drag so that it will still retain the straight zero line, like the straight line. Okay, zero means that it's straight. You can still curve it, any way you want to curve it around. Can you see? Any way you want to curve it around. You can still do angle 180 degrees, still angle on a straight line to still be straight. So 90 obviously is just the vertical. This is horizontal, then this is vertical. Can you see? But keeping it zero, it's better. Okay. Same thing goes to this one. You can still rotate it whichever way. Can you see? I've rotated it now. And I can still come here to edit. Look at where my mouse is to edit. Can you see? This is another shape entirely. So design is whichever way that you want it to be. Just flex it. So we have our arrow. Arrow is the same thing as this, whichever way you want to draw it. The same thing as your stroke. Then your ellipse too. We have our ellipse, right? So in ellipse, we're not doing corner ridges. Can you see this is deactivated for it? This is 130. I heard of my chip. Then we have something called arc, right? You sweep to your 50, you sweep here. Then we have start and we have sweep. Let's say we want to hold this and control D, please. And then this is sweep, makes it longer, but start makes it like this. And then start makes it like this. And you see, I've gotten just this new shape. The same thing now, control D. This is sweep. I want to just sweep small path in it, and I'm changing it another color to maybe something like this. Something like this. Can you see this is another color entirely? So just flex your design whichever way you want to. Sometimes too, you might not really want to expand your radius, right? This is, let me make you 111. So you might just do your arc like this. Sweep, make sure it's 50, and then control D and you start, right? You bring it up. You have something like this. Control D. Remember it's from your start and you sweep rather. So we have something like this. So you must not do this whole. It depends on what you want to achieve with your ellipse. Whatever you want to achieve with your ellipse. So we have polygon. You can paste. Then your polygon, you can still do for corner radius and you can do count. There's something we call count. How you want it to be. And you see that's why it's not called rectangle. Count. How you want it to be. Different shapes. Then you can use your corner radius and smoothing. Can you see this is turning to another shape? You can do your corner radius here, you can do it here, you can do your count. Wherever you can do your count, you can do your count from here to know what you want to achieve. So we have our start. Same thing goes to start. We have count, ratio, and corner radius. Whatever you want to achieve them, explore them. So we have image, how to bring in image. Maybe bring out any image that you have in your gallery, right? We're bringing in an image. Let's say we bring out this image now, open, and we paste. Can you see? And we pasted it. This is it. This is the image. So this star is inside it. And okay, this is it. I remove it. And yeah, this is just it. Can you see that everything we've done in this Figma canvas now is on this our layers panel? It helps us arrange our layers panel. But when you are done here, please, for something like this, you either do frame selection. This is frame selection, right? Or you come and you do Control G, which is you group this so that it will not be distorted. Frame selection helps you not to be distorted, okay? Not to scatter, actually, for it not to scatter. So basically here, this is how to do your shape editing in Figma. So we come back to text editing in Figma, how to do your text editing. in Figma.